Welcome to the Driveway Dudes. Today I'm going to show you how to add massive value to your car with a little bit of work and a small bit of cash. You got to ask yourself, how do you feel when you look at this BMW? You're absolutely right. It feels like getting slapped in the eyes with a bag of spuds. So we got to do something about these wheels. Look at them. Let's get started. Let's get started right away. First thing to do is get the wheels off the car. I don't have spare wheels, so the car's going to have to hibernate up on the axle stands for a little bit. This is a bit of a pain if you don't have a spare ride or a spare car to use, because it does take a wee bit of time and it does take a wee bit of work. Next thing I did was grab the nearest stick and beat out the worn out center caps. Then I cracked out the old power washer and blasted all the surfaces to remove any loose dirt and grime. Next, I got the ugliest knife I could find and I went to town on removing all the flaky paint and the bubbles. I'm not too concerned about scratching the wheels at this stage, so I just went full John Wick on them. A scraper probably would have done a better job, but I didn't have one at the time. The next part was sanding, a whole lot of sanding. I'm trying to get the wheels in as good condition as possible before I start my filling, and for this I used lots of 120 and then gradually moved up to 240 grade sandpaper. After about 100 million hours of sanding all by hand, I started filling any damage I could see. This includes pockmarks, scratches, curb rash, anything else. Here is a major Driveway Dudes tip. So read the instructions on your filler and mix the correct quantity of filler and hardener for the working time of the filler. That means the time before it starts to set. I mixed the filler to give myself plenty of time to work. I wanted to make sure that I did this to a high level of detail and didn't miss anything at all. Once I'd worked through all the wheels, the filler on the first wheel was already beginning to set. So this is Driveway Dudes tip number 2. Wait till the filler sets, but do not wait till the filler fully cures. If you wait till the filler fully cures, let's say 24 to 48 hours or even overnight, you're going to have a really bad day the next day. This stuff sets like stone, so you're going to be sanding all day long to get this to the perfect finish. And this part is essential to the finish of the job, so it has to be done 100%. Now, I thought about the paint part a good bit. I mean, I put a decent amount of consideration into it. You know, I could paint the wheels the original color, I could do some sort of pattern or design on them to make them appear or make them look a bit more modern. But what I decided to do in the end was just to go with the plain black wheels. Just a personal preference, I like the style of a fully blacked out car. I didn't break the bank with the paints either. Just normal off-the-shelf Halford's primer, paint and lacquer. I was all set and ready to make an amazing video showing state-of-the-art rattle can skills, but unfortunately my camera had a different idea. The whole process was filmed, but the footage was corrupted. I won't go into details about the camera's funeral, but it consisted of a bad temper and a 32-ounce ball peen hammer. I'll just give you a quick overview of the spraying process. So it started with the first coat of primer and then a wet sand, the second coat of primer, then a wet sand, the first coat of paint, then a wet sand, the second coat of paint, then a wet sand, the third coat of paint, then a wet sand, the first coat of lacquer and the wet sand, and the final coat of lacquer. I may make a video about this in the future, but for now I'm not going to go back and respray the wheels, so I'm sorry. The next part of this is getting new center caps for the wheels. I bought these center caps on eBay. I really like eBay. I always find it very useful. Just keep in mind that you check the size before you buy, because this is not a one size fits all. Once the center caps are on, you just put the wheels back on the car and she is good to go. Well, that's it for this episode of the Driveway Dudes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I apologize that I don't have the spraying process included. But if you liked this video, if you found it useful in any way, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you next time.